Hi guys, welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe. I'm drinking coffee in the middle of the night. Let's see how good my sleep is going to be later. Spreading love during the pandemic. Please like, share, subscribe. Football Brownie on YouTube. There's my Twitter handle there. There's my Facebook page, Football Brownie, and Instagram. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get your comments first before we get into the main. John Wayne, howdy, John. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. And John Wayne to John Barnes. Hi, John. Hope you're well. And he says, fuck Super League shite. Yeah, absolutely agree. Brandon, okay, I'm not going to mention that guy's channel. I have mentioned it. I have said to you before, Brandon, I'm not going to mention his channel. And there's this guy as well. You know what? This guy has actually come on my Twitter. Bloody idiot! He's some bot come in, man. Right, there you go. Hi, my friend. We're running late. Yeah, I know. We're always running late. Here's one of my. Him again. Another bot. Some weird people in here tonight. Some weird people. It may be. Maybe just me on a coffee. Maybe. Fuck the Super League. Absolutely correct. Up Cardiff. When I was young, I had no sense. I bought a flute for 50 pence. The only tune I could play was Sky Sports and the Modern Game. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And basically, that's what it is. That's what the show is going to be like. First of all, I apologise for early on. I was meant to do a show earlier on, but basically, my food arrived. My Indian arrived, and unfortunately, guys, that takes first preference. Yeah, let's talk about as first of all, we're on about the Super League. As it stands, I can hear it actually in the other room. Florentino Perez, Real Madrid president, and what we are hearing is that he's going to be the first president of the Super League. Is just getting interviewed on El Chicharito, which is basically a Spanish football show. Just this minute, he's getting interviewed. Now, before I come live, some of the comments he was making, I have to kind of like translate. Well, basically, it is that he's saying that COVID has damaged financially the bigger clubs, and they've taken a hell of a beating during COVID. This idea come up, and that's why they're all jumping into it. Oh yeah. Well, it also damaged, even worse, some of the lesser clubs as well, Mr. Perez. But you never see that, do you? You never see that. And even worse, Mr. Perez, is that even COVID has even put many people out of work. And they're struggling to put food on the table. But no. As long as your club is fine. That's basically what it is. Cardiff, I saw a Wolves fan trying to say he's over the moon because it makes the league more competitive. Yeah, but I think that's short termism, isn't it? I mean, if I was to look along those lines, I could say, oh, okay, well, get the 6 out of. I do want the Premier League 6 to go. They just showed me kind of attitude towards the supporter. That's the thing that's getting to me. It's the arrogance within arrogance against the arrogance of the club owners against the football supporter, the attendee football supporter, let's just say. You know, let's just go through the history of the Champions League stroke European Cup, because that's supposed to be the pinnacle, really, of European competition. Okay, now I'm thinking on my feet here, so if I do miss a couple of clubs out, then I apologise. But Benfica, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Ajax, Steaua Bucharest, Dortmund, Porto. They've all won the Champions League stroke European Cup. So why is Arsenal and Tottenham being invited? Celtic won it, obviously, 67. So why have those clubs not been invited, yet Arsenal and Tottenham have been invited? Crazy, isn't it? It's all to do with the Wonga. It's all to do with the money. And rumours today is that Mourinho left because of an issue brewing within the closed doors of Tottenham, and it was because of this very issue regarding the Super League, and they sacked him. Good on Mourinho. Whether you like the guy or not, the guy has always had principles. Okay, maybe not, 100%. If you listen to the some of the rumours over the years when he was at Chelsea, but yeah, he is a guy with principle. Jurgen Klopp. Now, since my video this afternoon, Jurgen Klopp has now come out and said that he's against it. James Milner. Okay, I know what people are saying, he's come to the end of his career, but he's the first player coming out saying he's against it. But still to come out, where's Solskjaer? Where's Guardiola? Where's Arteta? I'm going to give Tuchel a bit of leeway because he's only now come into the job. Solskjaer is the more telling one at the moment, just because of his history with Manchester United and his history of so-called relating to the Manchester United fans. But then again, we are talking about someone who is a lapdog to the Glazers. Very interesting. And another thing that no one have come out since my interview, since my video this afternoon. The threat, one of the threats in which UEFA are putting forward is that any of the players who be involved will be able to take part in international competition. So the 3 home nations which have qualified for the Euros during the summer, well, it's supposed to be last summer, but Wales, captain Gareth Bale. England, captain Harry Kane. Scotland, captain Robertson, Andy Robertson. Is it Andy Robertson? Yeah, Andy Robertson, yeah. Now, those 3 captains of their country, who on many occasions have said that it's an honour to captain their country, have been threatened that they won't be able to play for their country in the Euros on during the summer. So why haven't any of those three come out against the Super League? You know? Unfortunately, so much so, it backs up my theory that unfortunately most players are just mercenaries these days. Most managers are just mercenaries. It is what it is, isn't it, people? Let's go back into our comments. Rangers, yeah, could be, yeah. Right, Scottish Football Daily Podcast. Hi, Brownie. How are you? Yeah, I'm very good, my friend. Hope you are as well. Got school tomorrow. Just popping in to say hi. Big hello. Super League is an absolute disgrace. Not one good thing about it. That's right. While you are, while I don't know if you're still in the chat, Scottish Football Daily Podcast. I know you're a Hibernian fan. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be recording. I'm going to be recording my interview with John Budgie Burridge, who many Hibernian fans say that he was the best goalkeeper they've ever had. And John Burridge, crazy guy, but lovely guy as well. I spoke to him today. Lovely gentleman, and we're going to have a good chat tomorrow. So that could be uploaded tomorrow or downloaded tomorrow afternoon. But stay tuned to the channel. Please subscribe. Press the bell notification as well, guys. YouTube only telling me about 20% of my subscribers have pressed the bell notification. Just gives you the heads up whenever any videos are being downloaded. But yeah, that'll be a good chat with Budgie tomorrow morning. And yeah, I mean, because he played for Newcastle, Man City, Crystal Palace, QPR. He's played for loads of clubs. But yeah, it'll be a good chat. Finn, hi Finn, hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. 22-23 Premier Champions of Cardiff. I know I have noticed some guys, right, and they've stopped doing well on the Betfair exchange, right? Some of my YouTube friends have actually just chucked money on Leicester to win the league. Right, you can only do it on the Betfair exchange, because I've tried it with Biosports, which is who I normally use, and other people have tried it with other betting companies. No one's doing it at the moment, but you can do it on a Betfair exchange, right? Basically, they put a bet on Leicester to win the Premier League this year. The odds are massive. Thinking that both Man United and Man City will be thrown out after the Premier League meeting tomorrow night or the night before. So yeah, but as the time is going on, the cash out is really going higher. Yeah, so jump on it, guys, if you can. Stefan, hope you're well, because we're only in it for one thing. That's what I said, Stefan. The money. Don't give a damn about anything else, my friend. Don't give a damn about anything else. Sorry. Uppercut, I can't believe that Levy is good. I thought he loved Spurs. Well, I say, just listen to the beginning of the Florentino Perez interview on El Chicharito. Which is a Spanish football chat show, really. Basically a chat show where many of the media just thrown into a room with all lights, disco lights and everything, where they talk football. And Perez had a live interview, and he is saying that, well, he's blaming it on COVID, basically. That's the only way in it they can go down, can't they? The big clubs have lost so much money during COVID. We have to look out elsewhere to get revenue streams. Well, yet at the same time, other clubs have gone bust during COVID. People have gone bankrupt during COVID, and people are jobless during COVID. Yet you are willing to risk more people going bust, bankrupt, and jobless, because surely if the big six were to go out, I'm taking the Premier League as an example. If Premier League then closed the door on the big six, the income levels without the big six to the other Premier League clubs aren't going to be the same. So if the income levels aren't going to be the same, that will have a knock-on effect on the lack of jobs within those other Premier League clubs, which will then put people then put people jobless, which would then have a knock-on effect on people's income and families' income. Now, it's all short-sightedness, you see, isn't it? All short-sightedness. Stefan, looking forward to a Pudgy interview. I am as well. I say I spoke to him this morning. Guy lives in Oman now, of all countries. He lives in Oman. I said to him, Budgie, I said, why Oman? He said, Blamey and Porterfield. So I think that'll be one of the conversation topic points tomorrow. Whatever did he and Porterfield do to make John Burridge move to Oman? Right, Stefan, Levy loves money, simple as here. They all do. But just to think I'm going to give up football, take up rugby or something else. Well, darts. This happened in darts a few years ago. That's why you got one dart championship on Sky and the other one on BBC. If this does not stop now, right? If this does not stop now, I can, and if the Americans want to treat their businesses, stroke football clubs, as franchise, I can really see them moving to New York or somewhere. I really can. In a few years' time, I can. Where they say, it'll be because of London land prices. Say they sold the Emirates, the land in which the Emirates were on. How much would that be worth? Billions. Same with Tottenham. And then all of a sudden, they relocated to bloody New York, LA, or somewhere like that, where the land is much cheaper. What would be stopping them? What would be stopping them? True colours come out of people and things like this happen. Yeah, hang on one sec. Sorry, I blew my nose, man. Yeah, true colour. Yeah, and I tell you what, I don't know if any other people have picked this up, because I know a couple of media people have picked it up as well. Have anyone else noticed that, especially on Twitter, there's a lot of social media bot accounts, jumping into conversations and literally jumping in conversations in support of this European Super League. Right at the beginning of this video, about 5 minutes before the video started, I had a guy come in. To my Twitter, and then he said, "Can you What did he say? Because my a couple of my tweets in the last 24 hours have gone very popular. So the guy said to me, "Can you follow me? And then I'll send you a DM." Okay, so I followed him, waiting for the DM. DM never came, and all of a sudden, he just give me a boost on Twitter for some reason, And basically, he must have copied and pasted what he wrote on Twitter because he came in here right at the beginning, which I've now blocked. But that's only one of them. I've had a couple of them, since those tweets. Well, since actually um, uh, the start of the European Super League, because I instantly am dead against it. But have anyone else noticed the amount of bots who, if you look at their accounts, may not even follow 10 people or have 10 followers, just basically jump in and try and hijack debates going on regarding the European Super League and so on. I wonder who's brought those bots, eh? Yeah, yeah. It is sad what money can do. You are right. You all are right. Oh, geez, sorry, remember when I said RM ran European football? This is my proof. Who's RM? Oh, Real Madrid. Well, yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so, Stefan. Nobody even got to enjoy football again. Still during COVID, this happens. Do you think this happened because of COVID, though? I can't see this happening when everybody is allowed back into the back into the grounds. I don't think this would be accepted. Can you imagine, or the upheaval if people are in the grounds at the moment? This is why they took the opportunity. I'm old enough, and I know Stefan is old enough because I think he's slightly older than me. I'm old enough to remember the 1980s. Now I know ever since you got official. You have to go down official avenues with pickets and so on. I'm old enough to remember the miners' strike pickets, not just a miners' strike as well. It was the dockers striking. Of the 80s, mid to early 80s, right? And I said this in another chat on Mr. Arsenal podcast now. Imagine if it was miners. It was like very similar pickets outside football clubs when everyone's allowed back. For example, by supporters groups, and we were picketing right around the ground, and the picket line was right around the ground. I know someone, before anyone comes back to me, that the only limited amount of people now are supposed to be officially out on a picket. But how many people would actually cross that picket line if such action was to take place? Now that would be very interesting. Tom Palmer, hi Tom, hope you're well. Very sad RIP football. I'm afraid you could well be right, my friend. It's the Americanism of football. Of course it is. Going down the franchise route, having no relegations, no fear of losing so much money and fear of a drop and so on. Disgraceful. This is the day football becomes soccer. Well, actually, soccer was firstly a British name. It actually became soccer, then football. But now you're saying he's going back to soccer. Yeah. Finn, Sky Sports tried to do Sky Sports tried to do pay-per-view, and they apparently cared about the fans. I know. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on. There's a lot of hypocrisy. However, what I will say in one little bit of example for Sky Sports is that I do remember when it went from a football, the first division to the Premier League. I do remember that, and at no time was it ever mentioned that no one would get relegated from the Premier League. That is the only thing in which Guy Neville is campaigning about. You know, as he said, you know, I'm glad everyone wants to make more money. You know, more money makes jobs, job creation, so on and so forth. But the key thing he said, but when you take away competition, that kills the game from the grassroots up, and it does. And it does. You know, I'm a Cardiff City fan. Stefan's an Ipswich fan. At the moment, his team's in Division 1 or League 1. My team's in a Championship. We'd love our teams to be regulars in the Premier League. But half the excitement about that is the thought that your team is up against Man United one week, Liverpool another week, Arsenal another week, and so on and so forth. You know, the people who are short-sightedness in this are just thinking about the profitability of the 6 clubs involved. No. The clubs in the league and the clubs in the lower Premier League who have been up and down, you know, the likes of West Brom and so on, have been shafted by these clubs for many, many years, ever since probably the creation of the Premier League. One of the sales pitches I remember of the Premier League was that more money would trickle down to the lower leagues. That convinced a lot of people at the time. Lo and behold, we all know what's happened to, I wouldn't say Barry, because Barry was the owner was an idiot. I know, still is an idiot because he still owns the stadium. But, you know, where you got Macclesfield, you could go through them, couldn't you? Ruston and Diamonds, when it was something. You know, Newport went bust as well in the 80s. Scarborough, Boston United. You know, the list can go on and on and on. All of them were when the Premier League was still going. Well, you know, so we, as football fans, we have heard that line before. Oh, don't worry, the money will trickle down to the grassroots and lower league clubs. Bullshit. We've heard it before. Do not fall for that line once again, Mr. Football Fan, because we have heard it time and time again. It doesn't happen. And I'd be very, very disappointed if any of my subscribers fell for that line. More money will be put to grassroots and to the lower league clubs, because we've heard it before. And since the last time we heard it, many clubs have either gone to the wall or gone into administration or gone out of the league. It's bollocks, to put it bluntly. Is this going to be called the Real Madrid Super League? Well, be interesting to see if Gareth Bale as Welsh captain comes out, because I'm one, because he's a Real Madrid player anyway, you know. But I'm definitely going to watch more Marbella when COVID is over than go to Madrid, as I used to before COVID. Brandon, the Disney of what happened to the film industry. If I supported one of the big 6, I'd have shown my club disgrace. Now, I've heard a lot of people say this, I've heard a lot of people say this. Unfortunately, the big six are, they rely on tourism supporters, especially the ones in the London area. And, whether we like it or not, there's too many tourist supporters now. Hence the reason why the clubs are doing these kind of moves, because they don't give a shit about the regular supporters who go to the club or go to watch a football every Saturday afternoon, or what used to be 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I remember, and it wasn't a long time ago actually, right? The time Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea, Chelsea were 24 hours away from going bankrupt. 24 hours. Right? Okay, they were before Abramovich. They had a few good years in the cup. Remember them winning the Cup Winners' Cup, a couple of FA Cups. They beat Di Matteo against Middlesbrough, 94, I think it was, or no, 98 or whatever it was. But how on earth is Chelsea a big club? They were regulars in what was the second tier of English football for many, many years. Right? They won one European Cup, which is the same amount as Porto, Steaua Bucharest, Aston Villa. What classifies Chelsea as a big club? Oh, I tell you what classifies them. The profit and loss accounts, isn't it? The same profit and loss accounts which the owner, Roman Abramovich, allegedly uses to clean his dirty money. Unbelievable. We live in such a shit generation. This is Disney with a Mickey Mouse League piss break. Apparently Disney bidding on TV rights for Super League. I really do think, I don't know what everyone else thinks, right? But I really do think, maybe it's just my lower league kind of heart ruling my head when I say this, right? But I'm getting a feeling that more and more people are turning their back on the Premier League or the Big Six and thinking of going more local, following their local team. Is anyone else having that feeling as the last, during the last 24, 48 hours? Maybe it's just me being on social media a lot. And the fact that I do support the championship, I suppose, yeah, you could call it a lower league club. But is anyone else thinking that they can see more people just turning their backs on Premier League and the Big Six, and thinking of just following a local club? I don't know. What a joke. Tom, but I'm shocked because of either two reasons. Either argue with Levy about Super League, or is it deflection? No way they sacked him for football reasons. But what I heard, Tom, don't know whether it's true or not, but I did hear this off another podcast. Sam Greenwood actually told me, said it. So big up to Sam. Basically, the Tottenham players demanded a meeting with, refused to train this morning, demanded a meeting with Levy and so on, because of the Super League. Jose Mourinho backed the players then because they were outraged about the Super League. And because Jose Mourinho backed the players, Jose Mourinho was sacked. That's basically what I heard. But I agree with you, Tom. There's no way Jose Mourinho would have been sacked, just days before a cup final you know, when's the last time I've been to a domestic cup final? Ages, years you're talking. And we all know how desperate they are for silverware, even if it is the League Cup. There's no way that would have happened. Jesus, love you. I like going loads of chat. Apparently, you feel get involved in training, stand up again. Yeah. I'm honestly considering just following the Bundesliga from now on. At least the German clubs actually care about the fans. Well, I would have thought, to be honest, that Real Madrid and Barcelona, you know, the structures are also meant to be owned by the fans. You know, oh yeah, follow Real Madrid Barcelona structure. Well, I tell you what, I witnessed with my own eyes both the presidential races at Barcelona and the non-race at Real Madrid this year, and it is just absolute. Well, a joke. A nice phrase to put it would be an absolute joke. These 6 clubs are now dead for me. Stefan, Brandon, you can't make a is it to no 50. Well, 51%, 49. That's how it is, isn't it? 51, 49. That's, or maybe 50.1, 49.5, or 49.9, something like that. The fans would not allow. These owners are cowards for doing. Yeah, I agree with you doing it that way. Stefan, I think they took the opportunity because of the pandemic. Yeah, they did. I agree with you there. Can you imagine the uproar this Saturday now? You know, we've all seen it today. We've all seen some of the pictures today because Liverpool went to Leeds this afternoon or this evening, sorry, to play a game. And we've seen, you know, I don't know, 100 or so Leeds fans outside Ellen Road. You know, using the opportunity to get their voices heard. Good on them. Can you imagine that in a 40, 50,000 stadium? That big sector of plastics over support. Hopefully, real fans of clubs just give up on them. Plastics will be watching the league without doubt. To be honest, I think the plastics are pissed. I do as well, actually. I do. I'm coming along those lines as well, Stefan. I really am coming along those lines as well, especially on social media. Some of the, you know, some of the podcasts in which I take part in or watch or so on. And I know just for distance purposes, you know, traveling purposes. No, some of these people, I think plastics is not a nice word. It ain't a nice word. You know, someone can't help not being able to travel to every game just because they live thousands of miles away. But I know what you're saying. I think for the let's call it the non-attending fans of these clubs, I think they're also pissed off as well. I agree. Soccer. If anyone referred to it as soccer plankton, I would hope so, but not everyone will keep up long term. You don't know, you see. Brandon, you don't know. I mean, when I first watching Cardiff, right, it was basically the football was the worst part of the day. It was basically a Saturday afternoon and night out with the guys, and a few drinks, going watching the football, and a few drinks after, going into the club, coming back wrecked on a Sunday morning. Right? That would be my life from mid-teens or late teens to, I don't know, when I got married, say 28, 30, right? That would have been my life, basically, home and away. But on many occasions, the actual 90 minutes of watching the football was probably the worst 90 minutes, or whether even if your team won, watching the football for 90 minutes was probably the worst part of the day, of your day out with your mates. Because it's the point I'm making, it's the company you're with. If you go to watch local league football, or even bloody the dog and duck against the hen and bloody chicken, right? If you're with a group of mates who you have a good time and enjoy their company with, you'll enjoy your night out. You enjoy your day out. You'll probably do it again, and then you'll probably do it again after that. You know. And on top of it, you don't spend as much money as you would if you were going to watch bloody Chelsea, Arsenal, or anybody else, or Premier League. You know, I don't know. During COVID has got another thing as well. I think it's very much like the credit crunch back in the 08, 09, 010 and so on. I think COVID, the result of COVID is that you rein in your spending. You rein in your spending. And even after COVID, people will be in debt and in arrears and mortgages and so on. They're still reining their spending. And I remember, when my personal boycott was when Cardiff turned from blue to red, as you guys know, right? And I used to really take a piss out of people who would go, the kind of one-line joke was, oh, you go to go B&Q with a missus on Saturday afternoon rather than going to a football, that kind of thing, But what my personal boycott did, if I'm honest with you, was review my spending, because after a couple of months I was like, fucking hell, look how much money I've saved by not going to a football. Right? And also reevaluate the amount of other things I can do with my life rather than spending it on every Saturday getting bladdered and every Sunday in bed recovering from the Saturday. Now, if that happened to many thousands, hundreds, tens, hundreds of thousands, if that could happen after COVID, I think the football bubble could actually burst after COVID, and it may be a few surprises. I don't think the stadiums will be as full as people expect. Maybe for the first month or two, because it's, but once you get back to the norm, I don't think so. I think it could be a point where we could be back into the league attendances like of the 80s, where you'd have 15,000 for a top tier game. I really do think that. I don't know. You guys tell me. Not everybody's like Brownie, still making a stand with state two colours. Yeah, yeah. Still don't go there. Klopp will walk. Be interesting. I heard he's demanded. He's demanded a meeting now, hasn't he, with the owners? Hopefully, got a feeling Jurgen will walk. Yeah, could well happen. It could well happen. Money can't buy class. Klopp was fuming in it. I've heard what you would like in the interview, but I haven't seen it yet. I know some total disgrace. Seen your message before. Didn't see your message. Haven't seen the interview. We'll watch it later yet. I saw two supporters at Portman Road on a regular basis. I never knew that. That's what we claim. West Ham is becoming like now, isn't it? After they moved to the London Stadium. I seen a lot of them at Cardiff. I seen a lot of them at Cardiff. You know, with when he had the FA Cups and so on, the FA Cup games. You know, when we're up against big team, all of a sudden you got a group of Tottenham fans in a home end and so on. What has this society become? Ruined. The teams involved will be kicked out of Champions League on Friday. I hope so. I absolutely hope so, and I hope they get kicked out of the Premier League as well. People like Glamour Fact, yeah. Yes, I hope people turn their backs and support their local clubs. That is how fans get football back. Something's brewing, and you know what? You know why I think something is brewing as well is because the more local clubs are jumping onto it, especially with social media. You know, over here I had there's some Villarreal. You know, sorry. I think Villarreal done one, the English version of a Twitter account. Some of these clubs' Twitter accounts are coming. Or Spartak Moscow done one as well. Dear Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City, Man United, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, dear all of you. You know, we haven't joined the top 6. We'd welcome your support. So more and more clubs are trying to get that message out there. Now, I don't think they'd get that. They'd be trying to get that message out there to try and get the kind of bloody support, the supporters who are gobsmacked and have turned their back on the club. I'm sure there's definitely a movement going out there at the moment. I'm sure of it. The Jose situation is insane, but fair play to him. The irony is Roman began this shit with the money along with Jose. Well, did he though? Because Jose Mourinho won the Champions League with Porto before he went to Chelsea. So you can't really say that though, Stefan, but I understand the point you're trying to make. You know? Because basically Jose won the Champions League against all the odds and against all the money by winning it with Porto that one year. North London is red. I'm a fan of the European ECL, European Champions League. We are in Europe again. Are you met? You see North London is red. You can't be a fan of Champions League. You can't be a fan of Champions League because the Super League was meant to be is your way. I'm assuming you're an Arsenal fan. Super League is your way into Euro. Well, at this moment in time, no matter how much money you will have, players still wouldn't go for Arsenal because every single club will have the same amount of money from this new thing, and you're sitting in 12th, and you can't even beat Fulham. As Guy Neville said, I'd rather watch San Marino at the moment than Arsenal or Tottenham. Hi Kev, how are you doing? Are they cancelling Europa Champions League? I heard there's there's a meeting tomorrow. I think UEFA got a meeting tomorrow with their lawyers, so they're going to be talking about it. Steve, hi Steve, hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. Frankie, I have a feeling Jurgen Klopp will walk. He will walk along because of the social distance rules. I think you walk, but I think you walk. No. He's backing. He hasn't really been backed, has he? So he could use this to walk. But in all fairness to him, no, he is man of principle. Tom says, do I think PSG will join? Now, this is an interesting point. Tom. It's an interesting point. Not many people realise that the owner of PSG is also on the board of UEFA. Not many people think that. So people have been praising PSG. Oh, good on PSG. They haven't joined yet. You know, the reason that PSG haven't joined yet is because their owner is on the board of UEFA. Jeez. Oh, geez. Anyway, PSG will join after the World Cup, he says. Okay. Matt Lad, hi mate, hope you well. I wonder if there's any other decent managers. Sorry, I wonder if there would be any decent managers that would either excited to manage clubs in Super League, which looks like it means nothing. Well, you know what? I think Pep is all about money. I'm not just on about money as in buying players at whatever club he's at. I'm on about money, because there's always issues regarding, or always allegations, let's just say, regarding certain money which was held in accounts in the Middle East, which was accounts held by himself or by people linked to him. So I'd be very surprised if Pep will come out against the Super League, because his history, his surrounding personal finances tells me that he'll be all for the Super League. Some say it's blame on football agents taking money out of the game, but I remain be convinced. Football agents are football agents. You know, at the end of the day, what people need to understand as well is that clubs use football agents to move players out of their clubs as well. It's not a one-way street. There was a guy who sat in front of me in a Bobby Robson stand who knew jack shit about football. Okay. Sky acting so innocent, like I didn't charge $14.99 for a game. Just annoyed they haven't got the license for the games. Yeah, there is a lot of hypocrisy going around, Jay. Jay the Jambo. There's a lot of hypocrisy going around. I completely agree with you on that. I can't see the guy Neville hypocrisy of him personally, because he has always stood that he's all for progression within the game and so on, but there's no promotion and relegation, so there's no like target for anyone to do a Wimbledon anymore, or Fulham I suppose went up, Cardiff went up, Swansea went up, we've all gone up to the top tier, and it's been a dream for football, and the threat of relegation as well. That goes away. How pathetic, tragic. BBC is saying that Johnson will stop the top six breaking away from UEFA because Boris is a strong supporter of EU organisations. Well, first of all, UEFA isn't an EU organisation, because UEFA is an organisation which covers more nations within Europe than the EU does. Like EU covers, Russia, Iceland, Norway, isn't it? So the EU is only a select amount of nations within Europe, whereas UEFA covers the whole of Europe and even beyond, if you want to take Israel into it as well. Jay Jambo, thank you very much for subscribing, my friend. Brandon, go. Good night, Brandon. Hope you're well. Yeah, good night's sleep. I think if the Super League goes through, these teams like PSG will be bullied to join. PSG will join. It will if it goes through. It will join. Bayern is a new one, and Bayern's a new one. At this moment, listen, I don't think they said they wouldn't join. I just think they said, look, we're just going to see what happens. I think they've given them a couple of months to decide. You know, I think the praise on Bayern at the moment, I think it's a bit premature. Cheddars, hi Cheddars, hope you're well. I think the German French teams are praying it will fail as it benefit their domestic leagues. Yeah, good point. And but to be honest, it'll benefit their PR for the domestic leagues as well. You know, because I've just mentioned, you know, there's a lot of praise at the moment for PSG and the German sides, but most of them, PSG is because the owner is on the UEFA panel, obviously, right? So he can't be seen to be supporting a new Super League. But I think the German teams they were just saying, okay, we're just going to see how it pans out first before we sign up or not. I think it's a bit premature. Damon Turner, United. Hi, Brian. Hey, hi, Damien. How are you doing, my friend? I'm going well, my friend. I hope you are too. Many thanks for joining. Frankie, a few football losses so a long time ago. Yeah, when fans kept demanding owners buy the best players from other teams so they can buy themselves a trophy. That's always happened, though, Frankie, isn't it? No, I remember. Well, I don't remember. Frankie, Stefan may remember. But you know, in the '60s, Everton were called the Money Men because they were owned by. Most of you guys may not remember, but they were owned by the company Littlewoods Pools, which were basically the only football bet you could do. Onto the Pools coupon. So, you know, they were the money men. They bought the likes of Alan Ball and so on. You know, and then you can fast forward, you know, a decade or two. Then Liverpool became the money men. They bought everyone. You know, and then the 90s, Man United became a man. Man United has always been, Man United were quite money men anyway, in the 80s especially as well. You know, because they bought Brian Robson, record transfer fee and so on. Then Man United really stepped forward in the 90s, obviously. Then Chelsea in the noughties. Then Man City in the 10s. You know, so there's always been, you know, you can probably go back in history ever since. There's always been money men somewhere, you know, money clubs at one decade. So that really hasn't changed, but I can see your point, Frankie. Hello. Hopefully the Super League does go through all the teams relegated and transfer. Yeah. I know, I agree, Jay. I'm not that old. Okay. I take it back, Stefan. But you know what I'm talking about. Definitely with the 80s, don't you? You know, we all know, that Liverpool team, they were, even when they were winning, they still freshen it up every season, didn't they? They may have brought a new face or something in. Then Man United done the same. That's how you kind of progress year on year. But apologies, I didn't mean to offend. Jay, invest in youth could well be the way. Everton was known as Bank of England, and yes, absolutely. Well, Arsenal were as well, weren't they? At one point. Well, actually, Rangers rescued Arsenal in the 1910s, didn't they? Financially, because they bought shares from a club. Frankly, personally, I like to see clubs develop their own players. Yes, I get that there's been some big transfers, but that was usually limited. It was limited because of the free foreign rule. That's now starting to come back, you know, because of Brexit and so on. I don't think it'll ever get to as it was, but you know, back then they developed the youngsters. That's why, you know, you had a very good England team, a very good Scotland team. You know, a very good Republic of Ireland team. Northern Ireland, they used to get to a World Cups, went to the 82 and 86 World Cup. Wales never, but that's because of Scotland and Joe Jordan handball. But no. But the home nations were very, very strong. Were strong teams back then because of free foreigner rule, which pushed the clubs into needing to develop the youth. And yeah, I mean, could it go that way again? I hope it does, actually. I hope it does. But we'll never know. Stefan, not offended, just know along my football history. I know you do, man. I know you do, Stefan. Right, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. And say I got that I got the interview tomorrow with John Burridge in the morning. So I gotta get up early. Let's see what the next 24 hours bring on the world of football, hey? You take care. Stay safe. Spread the love. Hasta luego. Take care.